All right. I'm Dr. Loving. This is the first post of a team game, and this is my best bud, John's over here. His Xbox gamer tag is Johnsol, so pretty solid. Hansel, right? If we want to be full out Germanic. But today is the Bulgarians, also known as the Bulgars, which means mixed people. Slavs, which, in case anybody didn't know this, a Slavic person is of Hunnic and or Mongolian descent. What does that mean? It means, well, when Genghis Khan and or Attila the Hun visited, we'll just say it that way, Eastern Europe, well, they had a lot of kids, and to put it that way, and nice and gently, amidst all the chaos in the statement, they were busy, and they created a whole new ethnic group in two different eras of history. So, that's kind of the synopsis on what a Slav is, contrarian to, oh, they're only Russian. So, teehee, sure we know that, but hey, shared information. So, right now is a standard Dark Age in our favorite map, Arena, and we are going to do a little bit of Civ intros. So, the Italians are a fantastic Civ where they are Archer but discount in Gunpowder Civilization. So, admittingly, I had a little phase with the Italians in terms of enjoying it, and the thing is like any Foot Archer Civ, if you can micro and macro, well, you can win just about against anybody. Problem is skirms. So what do? They have a Condottiero, which ignores bonus damage against infantry from gunpowder. So hand cannoneers, they nullify the 10 plus damage, but then on the flip side, and or converse, they do not stop Janissary attacks. So that's kind of that. In the same respect as a Portuguese organ gun, they will stop the +1 bonus that it does towards infantry. So anyways, that's kind of the laydown on the Italians. Now, they get 15% per advancement of age, and they do have a fantastic archery line, of which is the Genoese crossbowman. One of my favorite YouTubers, Cast of Empires, calls them the Ninja Turtles, and, well, lucky for you, the viewer, you will be able to get to see some. They absolutely shred cavalry, and so Aaron and me have a plan to deal with this guy. Now, that to say, what we're going to do is just, standard Dark Age shenanigans and kind of go from there, right? So, the Cumans, as previously discussed in my very first video, the thing with them is I also had a phase with the Cumans, a much deeper phase than Italia, so meaning they get 2 TC possibility in the Feudal Age. So, granted, it takes about 50% longer to build, but in that, they can obviously have a steamrolling economy, but they can also do something very interesting. And you could see this in arena games. They'll do a ram push, because they're the only Civ to get rams. In the Feudal Age, and then in Castle, they can upgrade it to capped rams. And so, getting those requirements right off the bat is about 410 wood or 510 wood, because you need 150 for the blacksmith, 200 for the siege workshop, so yeah, 510, and then 160 for a ram. So it is a considerable investment in the feudal, but it also can stop boomer, not old people, but people who boom, and you can just get destroyed, because even if the ram doesn't kill the town center, which it can, hypothetically, with enough, and so on, the minimum is you end up getting a lot of pressure and destroying production facilities, and it creates a breach to put towers, archers, there's a lot of options, right? Not so common in Arabia, but you'll occasionally see pros do it. So, that's our opposing force of mustard, and ketchup. Now, Team Blue, which we so cherish, really Hansel cherishes it. Anyways, you know, what we're gonna do is we know we gotta have a game plan, and our best bet is to take out the Italians. So that's you know, our goal. So I go up to feudal quite late because I'm all about the 25 bills. You know, we'll keep our opinions to ourselves on that hunting-gathering system, but that to say, we're just going to do our normal build up and click up, quickish as possible. So, that's the plan. Now, looking at what's up ahead, we can determine that this may or may not be standard. Could be, but we'll see, right? So, as is most cases, Johns will almost always beat me to the feudal age and the imperial age, but I usually win in castle. So it's not really here nor there. It's really all just about different skills and then more or less different timings. But so long as the win occurs, then it don't really matter too much. But we're about to see some little bit of shenanigans. Now, Farron and I would have coordinated this. We probably, as in definitely, could have gotten a villager kill, maybe two, but definitely one. And so I just made it to feudal. I'm gonna do the wheelbarrow into castle. That's the plan. So we're gonna get a stable up, and we're gonna get a blacksmith. Now, did not mention our civs, so as shenanigans begin, let's go ahead and do a quick review. So the Slavs, their team bonus is every military building gives +5 population. So that's fantastic, because as you'll notice on my screen, boom, stable and needed by population. So that's very nice, very Eastern European-esque. Need a lot of military, and well, we'll house them too, I suppose. So that to say, they get one of the best cavalry units in the game in the Boyar, which was a huge reason why I love them so much. And they also get 15% faster farming. Their monks move 20% faster, which is super nice in the early game. And I'm not microing this like whatsoever. And then I realized, okay. And then I also realized there's some trouble afoot. Now the humans also get 5, then 10, then 15% advancement of speed. So this scout's all but a goner because I literally cannot run. So we know what's coming our way, and that is some pressure. So what's my response to this? Well, as soon as I stop the idle villagers, we'll find out. And so anyways, amidst this, I'm just forcing myself to go to castle because I have a building in mind that I would like to use, and upon which we'll save that, as it'll be a surprise to the, we'll just call it non-Googlers and or people that would be curious in something a little more spicy of a review. So anyways, going to the Bulgarians, they get arguably 1.5 economic bonuses. What does that mean? It means town centers only cost 50 stone instead of 100. So if I harvested 0 stone, I would be at 4 town centers just off stone alone, right? Uniquely, their militia line gets free upgrades until Imperial. Now, they do cap off at two-handed swordsman, but they have a unique tech that will allow them to... Oh, also, one thing with the Slavs, they get trample damage if they can upgrade that. It's one of the most expensive techs, but it's extremely powerful. So anyways, this is what we're going to do. And granted, I don't have the most, but we need something, right? And that's what we're going to generate towards trying to stop this guy's push. Now, here's the disbenefit of their little shenanigans. Things are pretty good for them, right? But that is such a waste of villager time, but whatever. And Aaron's going to go ahead and do our original plan, which was to take out the Italians, right? And so while this is going on, I have enough food, I've got enough res to create one of the main reasons why I love the Bulgarians, especially when I first got started, and that is the preppers. What is that, you may ask? Well, we'll look at it in a second. So, Johns is doing a castle drop, fantastic, and these non-skill checking people, what we're going to call them is all sweat, no micro. So he's just going to lose so much units for no apparent reason. Why? Because their idea of having a good time is trying to end the game in feudal. Well, that's not going to happen. Meanwhile, down south, we got the Slav putting on some pressure against the Italians. We'll see how that goes as things develop. Meanwhile, still being attacked at home, but things are more or less stabilizing. And this, by the way, costs 350 stone. Now, it's about half the health of the castle, smidgen more. So it's more susceptible to anti-castle means, and it also comes with one less range. So fully upgraded Krepos will get 10 range, and fully upgraded generic castle will get 10. I mean, sorry, 11. So, hero villager. I literally don't have res to create militaries, so I'm just like, hey, we held. They expended resources, and down south, in the feudal age, things are gonna get spicy for the Italian. Now, back at Johns' base, he's got the monastery up. I'll be joining him shortly on that because I don't have map control, but we have game control because there's only so much you can do. Now, to his credit, he took over 1,000 HP off of his also. And I just have a single villager fighting. And so anyways, that's pretty funny, but all that to say, I had so much on gold, and then I'm like, I need blood, and I need to boom like crazy. So, a unique thing with the Slavs is they can get an upgrade called Detonates, and while not in exact duplicate, their castles get 40% less of their cost. Well, we'll call that, so castle 650 stone. With Detonates, they pay 40% of that. So, unique. We get our first military unit out, and one of my favorite cavalry units. Yes, I love cavalry. If you didn't know, if a unit, or sorry, rather, a civilization gets a cavalry bonus, or unique cavalry unit, I will most likely try it out. Now, there's certain off the list, like Khmer and or Khmer, the Saracens, there's reasons, but generally it's because that's all people do, generally. Meant to show that fight scene as the flail is so fantastic. So we'll check in on that again. In the meanwhile, this is the Boyar, and we'll look at him in a moment, but that to say, this is the Conqueror with the flail. Now, going back to the Bulgarians, we'll watch that in a second again. Now, John's lost 3 spearmen, but that's no big deal. Holy gosh, they're still in the feudal age. So, in the meanwhile, as I say that, it's the castle. This is the Boyar, right? It has melee armor up the wazoo, a little slower than cavalry, most cavalry, heavy cavalry below, but it's a massive battle axe, and when the sun hits just right, which apparently is every second of the game from Boyar, their shields shine. So, it's fantastic. You know, for someone like a Slav living in mostly cold places, I'm all about that positive energy. I guess they're solar powered, so that's fun. Anyways, we're not done with our dealing of aggression on both sides of the matter. So, we're going to have a little Bulgarian team up and Slav team up of heavy cavalry, so that's great. Now, we're going to send some villagers forward because we feel like the game is stabilized and we should be okay. Now, uniquely, he got a second town center up. I'm gonna presume in the castle metropolis. I wasn't watching the map stuff. Okay, so he is gonna do a counterclass. It's incredibly weak placement, but the benefit of it is you can't get to ramming it that easy. So this is great. Everybody's teaming up on this boathouse. So we're starting to get relics. There's the first one. And then he has started. Oh, one thing I failed to mention. The Conic is 2 for 1. You get cavalry unit, and you then, upon initial death, it'll reset and become an infantryman, which is like harder hitting heavy, like swordsman, but then weaker in that doesn't exactly cause the greatest damage long term, but it's solid. So this is the Genoese crossbow. Aaron canceled the castle, so he'll get a refund based off how it was, but no crossbow in the game can just almost one shot a career. They don't get infantry bonus, but they do get cavalry bonus, and they'll do good against infantry. I mean, it's a ranged unit, right? So we're gonna slowly move forward on that. But in the meanwhile, there's a miniature storm of ruin back home. So we're gonna be seeing how that goes. Yes, the old man in sandals can hold a relic. So the humans are making some cavalry archers, which are good. You know, there's nothing special with them, but they're good and are fully upgradable in the castle age. So generic-wise, that's great. The other thing with them is they get the humans. I'm all over the place. Anyways, humans can train step lancers, cavalry archers, and light cavalry units 50% faster if they do an upgrade, and so that's pretty cool in the castle age. I assume that's pretty easy. Now, the Bulgarians, just like the Slavs, are considered infantry siege, and both our civs get heavy cavalry that are unique. So, at this point, we're going to gently press forward on the Italian, and in the meanwhile, again, storms brewing back home for me. So, I just gave my buddy a relic to help fuel his war machine, and amidst all that, we're doing pretty solid. So, our goal at this point is just management, right? Manage aggression. There's the dismounting on. Fantastic. And the other thing with the Bulgarians, so reviews, gosh, is down to their conversions, that's nice, is their cavalry can attack 33% faster, which is insane. They don't get paladin, but it's fantastic. And then he's not microing the best, but he's going to get a lot of kills with these, considering all things. So let's see how long it takes to react. So pretty decent. Nothing, just, you know, it's all right. And then that to say, he's just throwing away units. In the meanwhile, we're getting up a decent push. Yeah, you don't anticipate that Krepos living, small and feisty as they are. And insert sweat with. Well, let's see how his rifle goes. So I'm just gonna get military units at this point and try to save them. I managed to, which is good. And I just need to. Oh my gosh, that was cool. I just need to get villager kills at this point to not only help reset things, but, you know, just do what I need to, right? Until we get another one. Come on. Oh, that's that attack speed being so slow, but I think we're gonna get her anyways. Yes, we freaking do. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, this is not gonna make it. I could do a lot of repairs and so on. Villager idle time up the wazoo, but I'm also dealing with a lot. So, meanwhile, John's is unaffected. I mean, this is a suburbia of Slavic brilliance. Now, one thing that's great is John's is getting the harder to get gold, generally, which granted all his gold is forward, but still. And I eventually want to get this patch, but again, I'm under a lot of pressure. So let's go back home. Okay, so I'm making a counter cast because I know this Krepos is going down. And I do have a plan in mind, but it's going to take some grit and some grind. So fantastic. And also so fantastic. Do we have their shield available? Okay, so subtly. See that sun? Man, that horse's quads and hamstrings are insane to just lift up like that. Infinite. So anyways, I mean, the knight is too. Way more. Boyar in, I believe, Russian means landowner. In the same respect as Yonker does in Dutch. It's landowner. So we're fully charged on faith, so we're ready to convert anything in general. And I'm going to start making some siege. Now, again, there's a lot going on, but my goal is just to make as much battering ram as possible. Let's see how many conversions we get. Okay, so we got two units for free. Now, let's go check out Aaron's push on the Italians. Now, he could have done this a long time ago. Just get that gold earlier, but you know, you got chicken. So, anyways, yeah. Anyways, so he's an Imperial, so I got a choice, right? I could try to catch up with him, because I'm basically there. But I realize, you know, he doesn't have any heavy units out. While I'm going to lose a few things here and there, units, so I'm just going to boom and counter push in an all-in castle defense. In the meanwhile, what they don't realize is they have absolutely nothing to take on the Treb push from my best bud. So, while the Genoese crossbowmen will shred this military, like if they attacked each other and their castles were in between, that's the thing, is that's not what this game is for. The game is try and take out the Trebs next to the castle, and he's got nothing to do with it. One knight is going to do that. So, we're going to mass ramps. I can't do one at a time, and I can't show what I want to do. So we're going to mass our elite cavalry unit. Man, oh man, do I wish I invested in stirrups and a few other things. But, yeah, Krepos, they get a lot of population, like a castle, and they're faster to build. So anyways, 61 freaking crazy. Yeah, as always, I'd like to get my farms up, but this is suitable for what we do. So, we're going to do something a little bold, just subtle. And we're going to build a counter castle, but via Krepos because it's faster, and I'll reach him and deny that. But it's risky because obviously he's got troops. So in the meanwhile, he's got absolutely nothing to take out John's force, which is so fantastic. Granted, yeah, he does, but technically not, right? So anyways, going over here, I got some decisions to make, and of which, one of them is we gotta go all in on taking out these castles, and we gotta go all in on just taking out the Trebs, and so anyways, we're gonna do our best defensive. I'm getting upgrades, because if I would have managed it better, we would have been fine, but we denied the first castle. He did not refund, so that was a free 650 stone denied on my behalf. And then, eventually, we're going to try and take this thing out. Wish I did it earlier, but, you know, this is what we're going to do. Yeah, recommended to not use your villagers in this manner, but I knew I had a lot of build production, so I just had to do what I needed to. Do I save this next? I think I do. Ooh, 59 health. Back over here, however, job is being built. Now, admittingly, you know, siege, whatever, but the point is, things are going exceptional. And then over here, I am admittingly throwing away units, but this was repaired. Holy jeez, and I also clicked a tomb period. So, And what little farms I did have, I used all of them to heal this castle. Because this castle is going to save me. That's the logic. And so I did end up expanding. This guy is wasting lots of enemies. Granted, it's a decent gain over there, but he's got no infrastructure. So it's just a matter of time before he goes down. He's trying. I don't think it's going to work out. And meanwhile, yeah, this is the sweat with no micro, because, oh yeah, I got that. What a hero, Connick. Oh, so close. Anyways, so we're building another quick unit. I normally like to build Kreplers. It's a weak unit and other stuff, but I kind of realized, you know what, let me just establish control of everything on this. So, meanwhile, exceptional hitting on shots. Let's see what I get wrecked. So, you and your buddy want to be little sweats with no micro? You can't manage an economy back home? So, yeah, he's donezoed. Meanwhile, we've stabilized back up. A lot of bills, and this is where military production comes into play. Now, the score is indicative that we are strictly absolutely strong. So even though the Genoese are who they are, Aaron did an exceptional job of taking them out. And now it is full-on slaughter. And then this is just the military-industrial complex. I mean, what an absolute we're pushing on that. The Bulgarians only paid 50% on their siege, which is fantastic good. And now it is just slaughter. Now we can really appreciate Boyard. Look at that sun. And the glimmer and the shimmer and the goodness. So anyways, fanboy on that. So currently we are at 2 relics and a relic. And I'll be getting my best buddy another one, because I just absolutely pasted the Italians. Now, in an odd sense, granted you lose that many castles, what do you expect? But the Italians and the humans have made a little alliance. So pop goes the Genoese, and out comes cavalry death dealers. But it doesn't really matter. Why? Because we got control. They want to do sweat no micro. Well, that's a bit of a problem. So you get 0 micro. You know, even if it was vanity, maybe you get a Boyard type. Hey, but and oh, I don't know, cut a left. So getting wrecked, and my gosh, this guy is one singular mindset. Let's make it Genoese. So good on him. A little bit of cavalry, but we're going to transition into the infantry, siege, and my heavy cavalry units. So we may have gotten stirrups, fully villager idle time. So, yep, and as directed prior, I did give 2 relics, so that's nice. Beautiful little neighborhood. Fantastic. So we're gonna move back. So we got our couch ram, and then we'll eventually be upgrading that to siege ram. So anyways, yeah, you know, deleting walls, making an easier path, but hey, not gonna cheer for the away team. So let's see what our opponent is doing while the Bulgarian and Slavic military-industrial complex hit off. Now, these are fully upgraded Sands Elite, and they're going to absolutely shred all that. Now, a little bit of a sour loss, but, you know, free scouting. So, obviously, those were that little portion was identified. So, destroying infrastructure, never a bad plan. Unpacking and packing troops takes some time. When you have this much cavalry, it really doesn't. So, in the meanwhile, this is fully stabilized. We're getting our farms up, and our gold is sensational. So, everything's going more or less according to plan.
Da.
From my end. And then from this end, we're going to see a pretty possible lopsided engagement, but we're going to find out how this goes. Now they're elite. Those stats are insane. 14 base attack, which is a paladin, 4, but their melee armor is 8. Pierce armor is 4. So, smidgen less than a paladin, but it takes about 60 shots to take it out. So, we're going to see how this battle goes. There's nothing happening on my end of this production. So let's see how this one goes. So he's going to micro. So he should come out on top for that initial, but there's still a lot of boyars left, and we do have it, which is a step up from a mini. Siege onagers when these are fully upgraded, but there you go, right? So we're getting Siege Ram, which is going to make these dudes go to 270 health. Ooh, it's going to be a sour Siege loss. The boyars are going to clean this up because the human cannot micro. Could have been like, hey man, you want to help me fight these boyars? Oh, I'm the Ninja Turtle Genoese, why not? So, congrats. You got a relic. In the meanwhile, push again. Now, I didn't get these guys to eat. Let us out. He is absolutely the master of this. These are perfect. Hey. But comparative to what we got going over here, yeah, pretty good. Now, I actually did get the gains. It's plus 5 mana. They get 5 mana. So, against light cavalry, not too tough guy level, but you know, close out. So that's the push. Let's see how this goes over here. This is just fantastic. Oh, absolutely juicy pancake. Defends the siege, and then goes in for the kills. He said something about no shovel, but TBD on that. In the meanwhile, free because of the Civ bonus. And Militia Line, you know, challenging, but critical mass, like most military units, will absolutely do well. And getting them out of this, helped defend the Rams versus Steppe Lancers. And then this castle got destroyed. Oh yeah. And why are they mining so far? Because we are out, buddy. But that's all good. So while we didn't get to see Elite Conics, just absolutely wrecked. Look at the littered turtles. It's like roadkill. This is cute. Little Cumin Italia unification. So it's nice. Mustard ketchup, yeah. And again, inefficiency. Holy villager inefficiency. And you know, even if they put together some sort of rally behind this initial surge, complete map control for the 5 relics, and oh, by the way, still got nothing for this, still have nothing for this, and this is enough to take out probably 20-30 of those earlier. So let's just look at the kills, right? The current military is sensational for Johns and me. And then the kills, so Johns was able to get a 3-to-1 KD ratio because while the sweats with no micro were doubling on me, he was able to finish the job over here. To his credit, he made it to him and did what he needed to clear out Red. Red, on their part, did not move over early enough or counter the Slavic push by just getting to Imp earlier, which is 50% cheaper, and then their 20% gunpowder line being cheaper. So, which is weaknesses for both Bulgarians and Slavs, but at the end of the day, yeah, they were just a bunch of sweats and didn't really have a plan once when they got counterattacked, or in this case, wrecked. So, I like both these civs that we played against. We felt the Italians were going to be the bigger threat. They were. Excited to see more games of our content, and as well as just adding to the channel. I'm Dr. Loving. I played with We were the Bulgarians versus the Slavs versus Maestro Zen as the humans, and Idogawa DGM. He can think he's a dungeon master, but the only dungeon he's going to is Big Sad. So, until next time, peace. Well, okay, once again, stats. Just a quick summary, right? I extremely doubt nobody got more stone. But hey, let's find out. Yep, as I suspected. And beauty of this is he didn't really need a lot of stone, so job done. Because he could build castles for 390 apiece with Detonet's research. So, fantastic, good, little artistry palette. Peace.